Hey, hey, hey. How's everyone doing? Welcome, welcome, Metaphysical Mama. So, I'm not quite sure what we're going to venture into. I have been channeling a shit ton of information. Two-horned Queen of the Stars. I'm looking at right now, the Luna Goddess. So, I have all this stuff pulled up. I got Job in front of me earlier. I opened the Bible. I got guided to open. Just to introduce. Please let me introduce myself. Metaphysical Mama. So, pretty much, not everyone, but most of us can read, right? Words on a page, right? A word can be said. How many different ways, right, have we read? Can we read? Right? Can we read a body language? Can we read someone else's, right, emotional body or energy when we walk into a room? Um, right, different frequencies, different things that we all pick up on. So this is really a collective cosmic channeling, if you want to call it anything, I guess. So I guess I read the stars, but we do it while sitting wherever we are. Um, the point of reference where we begin is always within our own true north skin, so to speak, and the darkness within. So if you understood that, you'll probably you'll be all right. If that was way too much for you, I apologize, but it's just a vibration creates form. So every word, right, that we say, think, etc., is a different current of energy. So surfing the cosmic waves or the waves, frequency waves, it's like being in different bodies of water while standing still. Um, right? So the truth of the matter resonates within. Um, so welcome, welcome. 311, 311, 313. Oh, and today's December 13th. We're just sticking out too. I know I pulled up like the history of today, but I didn't really read much of it. I still have it pulled up here because I had got into a bunch of different other rabbit holes since I originally pulled that up. So it's not where spirit guided me to stay energetically, but I do have it pulled up. And what a weekend! I just want to quickly touch topic current event currents, right? Oh, my nose is so itchy since I came on. Wow. Um, this weekend we had that huge tornado that ripped through 404, 6 states, I do believe, was it in the Midwest? 412, 415, 414, 433, um, 420. Um, so I still have to, I have the paper here. Because, in ancient times, when they had different wars going on, it prevented, what was it, the War of Athens and the Spartans, and they saw a big comet in the sky. So we had asteroid Nereus. Um, December 11th was the closest it was, I believe. Which I think I did a video on that. Hopefully it got uploaded. I'm not sure. But Nereus, if you do etymology, mythology research, this is how, right? Don't forget the Vikings were mariners. They're sea bearing, right? So the seas they navigate that look up at the stars, right? Others look at, right? Some are more gravitated to, right? Look at a flat earth map, right, grounders, of the land. Right. So different variations of the natural perception that we come from being individual persons, which the word per son is, right, per star. Yeah. Um, oh, I got Dreamweaver playing in the background. What a good song. And if you're getting off work now or shortly, this is a super good song to be like, right, letting your day loose, letting go of anything you need to let go of, whatever time of day it is. Just a lot of us, not really me. I'm on the clock always. So it's like I rest and then I'm up and then I'm just going. I'm always working. I feel like I'm always going, which is just how I am. I've always been that way. Um, right? Time is fluid. Time is energy. We have to switch the words that we say to incorporate more movement and open, right, expansion, right, to the frequencies. Um, ooh, what a good song and video. Ooh, it's Gary Wright. Dreamweaver. So yeah, the tornadoes barrel across. It says 5 states. I thought it was 6, but either way, what a horrific, tornado day. And I believe I said it was like 15 or 16,000 year storm. So I just wanted to touch on some topics about that. First of all, right, like humanity is still quite greedy and still like living in fear and in panic and allowing what others say to cause an over emotional negative reaction, overreactive or spontaneous reaction, or still have expectations of that they're going to still be able to just bend over and fuck people in the crown chakra, in the head, 818, or in the, ass, so to speak, metaphorically and literally, because this is different, varying degrees of the disgust that goes on. So when the creator and mother nature are pissed and spirit keeps giving all these messages, but man isn't listening, they're listening to the media. They're wanting to be accepted by their fellow, which we all do, but at the point of what cost? They do many experiments, and all they have to do, what was I looking up? Was it Harlow? Or is that the dude that made, and then Asperger's, the German, I'm stepping on my papers. Excuse me. When they, and again, I don't know so much though about any particular thing. I just ride the wave. So what comes up is kind of like, and then, right, if it vibrationally gravitates toward you or has some kind of like right, like, right, you're getting a feeling of a rise inside or it's triggering something, right? Then allow yourself to kind of flow through, because, right, time is fluid. So the more we connect to the elements and the stories we've been given throughout time, right? Verbally, the things that we've been taught, and also the things we say to ourselves in our mind. So it's not like scratch everything, everything's right shit and blah. No. But it's like, no, but we have to definitely give ourselves that time and space to process these things. 440, right? So we have a sturdy foundation to, right, kind of like an octopus, or like, right, the goddess with all the different hands. It's like, right, we're balancing all these things all the time. Think about this thought for a hot second, right? Close your eyes if you're able to safely do that. If you're doing something that you shouldn't be closing your eyes doing, again, discernment, and if you're here, if it's not the right place, if you gotta if be negative, and this is like where allow what resonates and then leave the rest. Doesn't have to be wrong or right. This isn't where we're trying to be right, wrong, put anybody up on a cross, and it's just a matter of we're going through the shit, and whether it's good, bad, blah, 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 good, bad, ugly, indifferent, whatever others want to label it, 441, don't matter. We have to go through it all. So it is what the fuck it is until we're done, right? It's like when we're doing a shitty job we don't want to do. It's like, gotta finish the job. Can't just leave it half-assed, right? So we're not gonna be like, yeah, well, we built everything except for that corner over there, right? And it's like, we insulated the whole place except for your bedroom. It's like, so taking pride in our work by being thorough, and how we manifest by having compassion for ourselves, right? And that's being, they're going to make me rhyme like a goofball, but right, that's being well addressed, right? Present. If you need a president to direct you, especially a president, dent, I meant to. Kermit the Frog. I don't watch much of that. I'm just teasing. Lighthearted. So yeah, riding the waves. And, starting point is having an open mind and being willing. I close my eyes a lot because, right, I see best when my eyes aren't recording everything and distracting me from, also when I'm channeling, I tend to like look up a lot, up in the corner, like I'm talking to something, but I don't actually see anything with my physical eyes. It's just like energetically I'm being guided in a specific rate, like it's coming from a specific energetic uh, direction, right, toward me, or coming in or coming through, so that I'm able to share it, right, with you, me and you. So anyhow, yeah, you and I verse, the many verses we say and think and write. Oh, the places we go, hey? Funny too, because I have a Job open here. It says Zaphar's speech, excuse me, which isn't what I had. They were kind of guiding me to, I don't know. They got me going all over the place. I had opened before they opened the Bible, and I opened right to Esther, um, which, well, let's start there. I'll read the little beginning of the, and then I didn't look this up yet, but I have this written down here. I got to still look into Genesis 1:28. And we have radio, not soap, which is often said on this channel. It's a saying, a metaphor to ponder, right? Like a little frog on a lily pad in the pond, like, and think of all the different bodies of water that there are, and their substance, right? The minerals that they may be made of. Can you drink them? Is it water that's right full of life, or is it stagnant? What kind of creatures grow and thrive in such bodies of water? Um, so yeah, and getting back into the delta, which I did a video the other day, also it means triangular river mouth. And then Nereus is old man of the sea. And it means many other different things too, but there's just a few that are sticking out. And then today I was looking up Earth sky, and I knew some other stuff going on. I know the heart chakra of a lot of that, or say the reptilian, the draconian, Orion star system. If you're from that system and etc., listen, if you're feeling pain in your chest and what have you, it's just listen, rest, take it easy. It's just your heart chakra opening and the vagus nerve connecting, VAGUS, which then connects up into the throat chakra, and then up and through the throat, and then connects to the pineal gland, where right Osiris takes his proper seat at the throne, right? This side. So it may feel very freaky and not like great. And then there's many others that really aquatic beings, etc. Give yourselves time, because you're coming from a different species, different star systems, different bloodlines. Your bodies are coming through different atmospheric pressures. So that's why you guys hold water, you can't pee, different bladder things, different right, different bodies of water. We're not all one size fits all, right? And how boring would that be? Right. It's right, and also right, it's like Pluto is like no boundaries, very excited, right, very rash, jump quick. Mercury can woo, right, mess up the mind, right? Mercurial, it's very right liquid metal, and can also shift shape and structure into anything. Mira. So, and also Mira, Mira, like mirror on the wall, or Mira. There's many things with that, and definitely do some research. Mira, which is in the Cetus constellation, which is like the big whale, which also has a lot to do with, again, the old man of the sea, the asteroid, which an asteroid is a feminine feeling, right? Don't forget, all that were in the garden got put to sleep, right? Put Adam to sleep. So there's part of the mental of right of man that's been put to sleep. So these asteroids and what have you, and then we also have Comet Leonard. The sun right now is in Ophiuchus. I think 23 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe we'll read that Sabian symbol, 23 degrees. If they have Ophiuchus, I don't even know if the Sabian symbols have Ophiuchus. It might be in Stagi, which would then give it a different degree. Let's see. Sabian symbol, 23 degree Ophiuchus. Let's see. Sabian symbol, 23 degree. That's what I said. That's what I did say. I just felt a little off. Not funny. Let's like talk about that too, like with AI and technology. How grateful am I to first of all be able to talk to you through it. Hi, and so grateful for YouTube, Facebook, StreamYard, etc. All the right, all the different platforms that we have, and I'm still just barely touching down, still here, and all that. um, but again, as time goes, I'll be guided to be or do what I need to do for the right because it's not about like hurry up and put in pressure. It's when it's time, it'll happen, right? Because some crazy shows and movies on now, right? Oh my goodness. Whatever this is in the background is like freaky. What is a blood paste for the eyes and ears? Oh, I saw it yesterday. Yeah, Denzel Washington. Oh, I want to remember before I cut. Is it Caesar? Ah, no, Macbeth. The tragedy of Macbeth. Yeah. Just even the sound, it's like, ooh. Ooh. So, right, funny what a sound can do, or a thought, right? Where they can take us, right? In our minds, in our inside, we can walk around trying to like smile, but we're freaking out inside, trying to remember how to breathe, which we don't normally have to think about. But when we have anxiety, right, say it could be very difficult to breathe, right? So if knowledge is power, it depends what one does with that so-called power and knowledge. 2222. Right? We got the spider card here. Since I found you. So, I was saying, yeah, right, the forgiveness of, say, spelling something wrong or being able to punch a few words into a song, right? Or just speak into the freaking phone now and everything else, right? Just and how immediately information comes up for us to sift through, and right, so it's like I'm so grateful for right every vibration that we're in and that we have at our disposal. Like, do we not have like everything we need? We're very, very rich in, but are we rich in the way that we think? Are we abundant in how we feel about ourselves? You know, in order to clean out all that garbage, we have to go be willing to take a look at it. Most just feel like they're just climbing the staircase of age, and then it's like this line, and it's like, that's not, and maybe, okay, yes, was, right? Because it's to let us shorten the years, let us shorten the time. Because this is such a dense vibration. If we stayed in it any longer, we would have never made it out of hell. Right? So that is also, I do believe, part of the reasoning for, say, the reincarnation cycles having to be done over and over and over again to be built upon, the soul having to be built upon and built upon and built upon. But if we stayed, so long as we used to, I mean, that would have taken like, it would have never happened, right? I mean, it would have just been like, look how stuck everybody feel now, not remember. Wake up! Do you not remember what it was, this dream you had? It's like I'm still always remembering and learning and like discovering and like getting scared, like and then like laughing and right. So definitely could make us look fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but at least we're fucking going through it. We're not just standing alongside the fucking river watching everybody else go down it. Like I wonder if they're gonna make it. Like if you don't get off the river bank trying to hold on to those freaking pockets full of money you think you got, the river banks. Mr. Banks. Like Mary Poppins. I don't know. I just know Mother Nature is like, no, no, no. Ain't no more raping of her babies and the planet and the elements and anything off any like within the womb and the tomb is all in the, so it, inside and out, above and below, any which way one chooses to go. That's all fluid. So it's like nothing can raise it's like said right like maybe you could hide some kind of fluid in a container of such nature, just right, say the way you throw in the whole right, like I have a secret. Like Marvin Martian have a secret triangular chamber. Felt the Nile Lagoon. Nebula. I don't know. You can be what you want to, want to, want to. Oh, Steve Miller Band. Wish Upon a Star is playing. So, yeah, everything's fluid. So even if you put something in a container, that container is still within the fluidity, right? In the fluid. Even if in no matter, no, where I thought it was like Mama Wawa. The Wawa is always recording. That's always way bigger than us, but we're always all in the whole and in the reflections and like within one another in the vibrations of the soul, right? The different colors of the rainbow, you know? It's like, how can you buy or steal someone else's love? Others that are trying to say do such nature's things, except just cause harm, but you can't, you can't, you can't take something that you're not able to touch, right? So there's things that are unbreakable, untouchable. What does that mean? There's things that are, right, say forbidden that should not be touched, right? Out of respect, out of integrity, out of the code of would I like that done to me, right? Only do unto others as you would like done unto self, whether that's a person, place, or thing. There's a certain vibration of intuition that one needs to be in order to contain the ability to acquire wisdom, which is which, which is timing, right? It's like when we do something, you think about how, sometimes when we're trying, keyword, so do we suck when we try? No, just sometimes we get to that point that we're trying so hard and we're so over analyzing ourselves or over determined or over focused or right that we're just like getting so frustrated, right? Sometimes we try so hard, we box ourselves in. That's why they say self-fulfilling prophecy, right? We think our way right into it. What's this? Oh, face value. In the air tonight, Phil Collins. Face value. That's interesting, right? How do you judge the value of something? How do you value, right? What is your moral code of value? What's priceless to you? What can you not put a price tag on for yourself? Think of, right? I'm just throwing different thought forms out there to, right, kind of, so if you have to pause or like write or at some point just write them down, maybe if anything, or if anything any stick out, right? Oh Lord. Mhm. Can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord. So yeah, wait, getting back to the tornadoes too. Well, part of the Bible is like with the, and then the light, and then the before my friend. But I don't know if you know who I am. That was prophecy or something, guys. That what off that grin. I know where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies. I did the drum solo too quick. I jumped over eager beaver. Hmm. So what the hell was I listening to? Her? Samaria, maybe it was Ezekiel or Enoch. Might have been Ezekiel or Enoch, part of the Bible. Talking about the which would be the storm gods, etc. And also, we got to look up the word Leonard etymology, because this comment Leonard is the first time, the last time we ever met. Leonard from French. Oh yeah, and then French. Okay, Old French Leonard from German Leonhard. Leon. Like also Leon. Lion. From Old High German Leonhard. Literally, strong as a lion. From Leo, from Latin Leo, sea lion. Heart, hard. From Pi root car, hard. Oh, like Carhartt, like the brand Carhartt. So always signs in the sky. And back in the day, still till now, with war and what have you, they always studied the stars in the sky. And if there was signs in the sky, they took it as a sign that, like, right, the gods were mad at certain tribes or certain ways of living in life and etc. Which again, it is true because we are the vibrations and the resources. And if we're not behaving, respecting, responding properly, then naturally some nasty shit is going to come through. And the fact that people are using their so-called knowledge to take advantage of others' innocence and cause fear, chaos, and pandemic, etc. And then try to come at the other people that like there's very few of us. Do you know, was it Hayuka? If you ever listened to My Name is Cryon, the Cryon Magnetic Services. I love listening to that dude and like Steiner, Rudolph Steiner, Alan Watts. I can listen to them and fall asleep. Or just a lot of the old, ancient like history things, like they're like that have like monotone voice. Um. So anyhow, but oh, cool out over there. Um. Oh boy. If I love you. Um. The connections between everything, right? That's what metaphysics is, right? Like, look, they're got the metaverse, right? Virtual reality, which say fantasy, and then spiritual, sacred spirituality, and esoteric in the middle, and then fantasy, different, well, because it all come intertwined. It's all intertwined with one another. But again, like knowledge, how one is using an energy, right? How beings are using the first three chakras: the root, the solar plexus, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus. As above, so below. As above, so below. Keeping everything like under the waistline. Big old belt. Right. And our fat cells, I'm a personal trainer too, and I've studied food, and I'm a mom, and been in culinary arts and work with food my whole life. That's my passion. I love, in any form, right? Like nurturing our soul, seeing people happy, um, listening to others, right? Just being there, right? Like being part of, right? Like whatever that may be, right? So when we're in our now moments, we have more opportunity to be and do that. But jealousy and envy and other people's greed and their negative, immature codependency and emotional bodies and overindulging in ideas of grandeur and fantasy and making lots of false promises and extending a hand, and then creating um making more, make a inflation, right? And this is again going back to the fat cell, so I wasn't totally off there. So whether inflating the value of something, inflating somebody else's ego, right? Um, or again, our bodies are born with a certain amount of fat cells. So every emotion is attached to a specific organ in the body, in the physical body, which is right of earth and different bodies of water. And it is in constant motion and in shift and change at all moments, even sitting still. How many things are happening underneath my skin or in my vicinity of my fields of consciousness, what's coming into my mind, what I'm right allowing to share, coming out, what's coming through, right? Do a theater near you, right, etc., right? How everything is operating and working in motion. but we only have a specific amount of fat cells in our body. So when we're either avoiding or having a certain emotion too much, our body, or we're eating something or put something into our body that is like, our body's like, what'd you do that for? It's like, right, automatic. Like if somebody comes at you, did you have to think first before you flinch? Right? If something's coming at you, right, it's like we just, right, stick and move, stick and move. We're like, whoa, 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 right? Chop, chop, chop. And we in the flow. We're all right. So same thing with our fat cells. When we do something to harm our body internally, the fat cells blow up like a balloon, right? Like a blimp, to protect the organ surrounding the jinn that's trying to get in. It's like bumper pull. So it's like, so right, man keeps trying to shove shit into the physical vessel, and then the body just naturally responds. But then we walk around sluggish, or right, fat, so to speak. Right, been there. I'm just right, and I was right to what we turned into little balloons somewhere along the line. Or again, emotional baggage is very heavy. So the emotional body is a body of water. So you may not be able to see all the emotion that's going on within, right, underneath the skin. And there's a lot of trauma built up within the layers of skin that we're in, right? And each little tiny, teeny, teeny, teeny atom, right? Like Omicron means little O, right? So like the little atoms, this thing that's surrounding the cell, okay? Or because it's like the semiconductor, or the saltwater body within our physical vessel of you and me, right? Like how much is the saltwater body, right? It's like it's down in our, right. We're not supposed to have salt water like in the lungs, right? It's down in the belly, down in the round area, right? Not salt water here, right? Different systems that, right, that our human body is running off of, and right, well, in tandem, right, in, they need to be, right, coexisting, co-aligned, right? You need like a full tune-up. Whether you think, relate your body like a car or a boat, right, a vessel, a container like a battery, a tree, right? Upside down walking tree. And we are, and yeah, and we'll get into that's a whole other video. So all the different ways that we're able to see ourselves, to relate, right? What kind of machinery can you relate to, right? An instrument, right? Whether that's a mechanical instrument or a musical instrument, right? Like a friend and I were speaking yesterday, and right, it's like exactly, we operate just like a quantum computer, or better said, right, a quantum computer operates just as we do and mimic us. We work just like, who came first, chicken or the egg, right? Before there was a chicken or an egg. A lot of other things had to occur and happen first, unseen, right? The earth was formless, right, in the void. I gotta read that better, because again, earlier I was like, in Genesis, the genes of Isis in the belly, where we're like, this goes into so many different, right? Like, what's that song called? Oh, and he's like, what's in a word? A whole symphony is in one word. Do you believe? believe me, it's like great. And there's like a picture of like, I think it's that Monet that paints with the watercolor dots and what have you. And that's how it's like one word is like a little flower that floats upon the water. And it's like, ooh, it's all these different, it blooms into all of these different things, right? So being able to play with that and use your imagination and allow, right, resonation to resonate. Just allow it to be whatever it is in that now moment. It doesn't always have to be that. It's not going to always be the same. When we think of a word, it's not going to always be the same thought and feeling, right? That's mixed up with that word. Word. You heard the word 515. Woo, woo. All right, so Leonard. So let's read about Leonard. Leonard. Maybe I'll sip of my. What is this? Oh, the Bee Gees tragedy. And oh, that's crazy. I had like a Red Bull with like or a cow, a Red Bull with horns. Spirits Having Flown is the name of the album. The Bee Gees is playing right now. It reminds me of my Annie Lean. I've been thinking of her so often lately. I love my family. I love all our families, all the different ways we're all families. It's like, yo, well, one, we fucking all rock. We're like, it's so crazy how. Oh, going back to Heyoka and Cryon, magnetic services and what have you. He's so great. So oh, thank you, yo. That voice, that has many times, like, especially in the beginning of my experience, not in the beginning, but through some really dark moments, that dude's voice was very comforting to me. It's like being with, right, a very trusted soul elder, or right, like in the right around the fire listening, a very comfortable place. I don't know how else to, because I don't want to put too much of my so, but yeah, anyhow. But he put a video up the other day that I didn't watch yet, but I did see the title and I was like, wow, because I had some company over the weekend, so we watched a shit ton of really cool movies, but I didn't really do too much YouTube stuff and all that. So, but it said that, yeah, twin flames, and I need this is we're less than half of 1%. So we're all together, but it definitely can be a lonely place when others are either trying to be us or say to us, or and you know they don't know what we've all been and gone through, and the fact that we don't really discuss it, and right, is also, you know what makes us who we are. We do discuss it when we're guided to, and we respect our inner compass and code. Now that don't mean that we also don't, right, have a right to live, express ourselves, have experiences, to find ourselves in many different multiple forms. So again, don't allow labels and terms and names and things and people and motherfuckers and negative vibrations and energy, because what we're gonna do, right? We just, right, tragedy. They got that such that high. It's like they got way too tight pants on their whole. Like, I don't know how they ever sing that high, but yeah, I always love them. Like, how do they do that? They get up there. Well, their throat chakra ain't closed. I think. I think some kind of, sea witch or something got a piece of my throat chakra and her little shell around her neck. Remember from like the Little Mermaid? Oh, and Lego Movie Part 2 was on yesterday. I freaking love that movie. And that was pretty relevant. It was a good way to end the weekend. It was intense. I watched a lot of intense movies all weekend. So it was nice to end it off with, yeah, the Lego 2 movie. And then of course I watched Yellowstone because I freaking love me some Yellowstone. Love that show. Okay, so I was probably saying something that I forgot to finish my sentence about. So, it comes, it goes. I go with the flow. Listen, part of that also is like you could judge, but it's being fluid like water. So, like when I'm doing, especially a channeling message, because I'm always channeling when I'm on here. So it's like I may start talking about one thing. So I don't really ever have anything so specific to my title unless like they have me put some. I'm guided to like. Otherwise, it's like and I think like many, we can overthink anyhow. It's like, but like with anything, before you're gonna try to do anything, you start overthinking. Like I was saying before, right? Then we start to like try too hard. What should I name it? Does that make sense? Is that just my crazy mind? Or right? So we're all now we become the rubber banded up in a box. Time is money and money is time. We're just gonna wrap rubber bands all around. Sit in this box of mine. Hold on to it all. Don't touch, don't touch. My precious. Makes people go mental. What is it? The universe is mental. What was that cartoon movie I watched too? Anyway, again, it's like anybody ever touches that or whatever, they always go crazy. So it's like, oh my gosh, remember this song? And as far as I'm concerned, the chance to say that I do believe I love you. Mm-mm. Go away and try to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember. Remember Aretha Franklin? I don't do that no justice. I should be quiet. You should just listen. I know you can't hear her though. That's what friends are for. In good time and I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Wow. Okay. I see. Apart. Okay. Yeah, I went right to Leonard. Went right to lion. Interesting. So the comet Leonard represents the lion, right? In like a lamb, out like a lion to end the year. Oh, so that's what friends are for. Saint Margaret of Antioch. Hmm. So late 12th century, from Old French, lion, also figuratively hero, from Latin leonem, nominative Leo. Lion, the constellation Leo, from Greek leon, genitive leontos, a word from a non-Indo-European language, perhaps Semitic. Compare Hebrew labi, lion, plural libim, probably just butchered that, sorry. Egyptian labai, lawe, lioness, lawai, lioness. Old English had the word straight from Latin as Leo, Anglian Lea. The Latin word was borrowed throughout Germanic. Compare Old Frisian law, Middle Dutch Lew, Dutch Lew, Old High German Lewo, German Low. So like Lowe. Also, if that's maybe your last name, you might have, right? That you might want to look into a little bit, like Comet Leonard, Low, any of those parts that I said like that. Lou, Leon, Levu, Lev, and Czech. So it is also found in most other European languages, often via Germanic, Old Church Slavonic, Levu, Polish Lu, Czech Lev, Old Irish Leon, and Welsh Lu with two L's. Extended 17th century to American big cats, sometimes used ironically of other animals. For example, Cotswold lion, in parentheses, sheep. No, I just made my heart kind of skip a beat a little. 16th century lions with a Y of Cotswold is from mid 15th century. I say that often. It's like a sheep dressed up like a wolf, dressed up like a sheep, slave it a wolf, or I don't even know. It's like some baby just a lion. Right? Who's been lying? That word too, right? Who's been lying? All right. In early 19th century, to avoid advertising breaches of the game laws, hare, Hare, when served as food, was listed as lion. Paired alliteratively with lamb, like we're just out like the lamb and like the lion, or out like the lamb, out like the lion and like the lamb. Since late 14th century, used figuratively from 1200 century 1200 in English, of lion-like persons, and in an approving sense, one who is fiercely brave and sweet, and a disapproving one, tyrannical leader, greedy devourer. Lion-hearted is from 1708, which is also 16, 17, 17 vibration, and little and also could be feminine, female, and then 8, keeping in 1708, 1708. Also, again, is a 16, also is a 7. We simplify it, 1 and 6. Lion's share, the greatest portion, is attested from 1701. So 1701, 9, and 9 can disappear, just like time. The image of the lion's mouth as a place of great danger is from century 1200, or circa 1200. Sorry, circa C. Dot. Laus me, Lowered, ut of Pilinusmud, Saint Margaret of Antioch. Laus me loud. Laus me loud. Ut of Filius mood. Car, meaning hard. It is a hypothetical. Oh my gosh, and the crab kept coming up today. Look, seriously. And the crab nebula. And I was almost going to put the crab, like, I don't know if anybody else got any crab downloads today. The crab. It is a hypothetical source of evidence for its existence, is provided by Sanskrit karkata, crab, karkara, hard, Greek kratos or kratos, strength, kratis, strong, hard, Old English, herd, German, heart, solid and firm, not soft. Cool beans, babies. And I pulled the star previous to popping on here, but I'm going to cut the deck in three and give a shuffle. We got one already come out. I think it's Ace of Swords. Wait, no. It is Ritter. 8 of Wands. So pyramid. Last time. So yeah. Shall we? And I don't know if you want to check out Job 21 is what I have opened in front of me, but like I'm also getting back, like they're guiding me to go back beyond that even. So Job 777. So chapter 19. Read Job chapter 19. Job's response to Bildad reproves Job. So Job 19, definitely Job 21. Depart from us. Yeah. Why seeing times are not hidden. Oh, chapter 24. I didn't even look at that. I just. Yo. Close your eyes, give me your hand. You guys remember this song? I had an eternal flame in my head this morning. Again, love is unbreakable, untouchable. Right? Am I only dreaming? Is this burning an eternal flame? It's meant to be. Yo, it says the eye also of the adulterer waiteth for the twilight, saying, no eye shall see me, and disguiseth his face. And his is italicized. In the dark they dig through houses, which they had marked for themselves in the daytime. They know not the light. So don't worry, guys. Don't let false fear direct you. It's healthy. You know, there's a certain amount of fear is healthy. You know, they've done studies, you know, unfortunately, like a lot of the studies that have been done, you know, it sucks, but some of them, you know, it's like there's lessons learned, and a lot of them, it's like if there was no aggressor, no predator, eventually the population overpopulated. They did this on monkeys. I was guided to see this earlier, so it was very disturbing. And at the same time, think about this with an open mind, as far as that shit like tears my inside apart. So I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the fact that when there is no predator to be thought of or fear, right? Then they what happened was that they overpopulated, and then they ended up turning on one another, and they actually started cannibalizing one another and getting and right. So then they became aggressive toward one another. And they also did many studies, which was very disturbing. You know, again, it's like ripping away from a mother and scaring them. So not having affection, what that does to, right, a person, place, or thing. It doesn't do, it doesn't grow things, let me tell you that, that are worthy of value, you know, of being that they're dis they right, things need to be nurtured, loved, guided, and left to be what they are in order to bloom in their beautiful form, right? um so that's why it's like not about right and wrong, it's about when the time is right for you, right? When the time is right for me, when our time is right for whatever the next thing may be, that's what the fuck time it is. Not for someone else to say, you know, what are you going to do with your day today? And can you ABC 1, 2, 3? And I got an idea. I got a bright idea. I'll just sit around and you do the work for me. But I'll give you some paper to make it worth your while and put numbers on it and ferrofluid fluid of magnetic style. Right, so that's all recorded too. All transactions are recorded. Anyone that's made a deal to rate like to money, 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 everything, 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 everything. Oh, there's clean money. There's right. There's the things that carry vibration. Um. So yeah, you know, it's not about like, oh, everybody should be being completely whatever all the time. But it's like, well, if it, there should be like, we shouldn't have to worry about certain things either. You know, there's like natural things to worry about, not. So again, there's you know a lot of jealousy and envy and things that run people, which that just comes from not feeling too good, or again, kind of right, not having the love necessary and the nurturing needed. And I can relate to that in many ways, because you know I'm right, like I'm quite awkward. I don't, you know, I have so much love, I'm so super sensitive, I have so, but at the same time I'm very like kind of like a Sheldon. Like a big geek nerd. I like to be, I'm very inverted. I like my alone time. I like, I'm very in the abstract. So you know, unless I'm with vibrations, beings that aren't mm, um waiting and expecting and wanting or throwing ultimatums or having right the false intention, because when we pick up at that, which we do as empaths, it's like a constant like on guard, or when someone's negative or their thinking or their feelings are, or they're just their vibrate, they got stuff they're carrying, it's like that vibration is like we're having, it's like sitting in your car with your car idling, but you're waiting for somebody to either come out, or like you got someone in your car just sitting there and they ain't got nowhere to go. It's like, so it's disturbing the peace. It's disturbing our peace, because it's like then we're in purgatory. We're not in a state of calm because we're in, it's like in waiting. It's like sitting in the waiting room, right? Or it can actually make us sick, because again, their feelings or thoughts or their energy is in a negative, or ours. We could be doing, I could, we, right? We do that. I do that too. We do that to each other. So it's like when I'm feeling that way, I try to, it's like, yo, I don't, I try to, right, go through what I got to go through. I respect how I'm feeling. So I don't, you know, I treat others how I would like to be treated, put it that way. A lot of others want us to not be who we are. It's like, well, you can be around us as long as you just shut up. You can be around us as long as you don't talk about that thing. You can be around us as long as you don't breathe or laugh or move or ask for anything or want too much or have your own opinion. Sit with me, laugh with me, make me feel good. But if you want too much or start, then I'm gonna make you feel like don't forget I'm the one doing you all these favors. Or, oh, and do you also know, ladies, it's a super, super duper, 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 duper sin for a husband to treat his woman like a mama. Very disrespectful. It's like having somebody wanting somebody to, right, coddle you, baby, or you're not gonna be a man. And so it's like, whoa. So wait, that's very disrespectful. So when we're put in that kind of position, right, there's many positions that we all get put in that are not very nice. And they're just expected. And then they're supposedly, right, according to, it's like they're either worth a lot, it depends, right? Um, or they decide we're worth or not worth whatever, right? Just like the price of tea in China and the gas prices. I don't know. Balloons. This kind of looks like a big balloon, don't it? See the pyramids up in there too? As you stand by me. Here's the pyramid. Mike, I don't know if you can see it in the. Yeah. Stand by me. So let's read that. Let's see what David Bowie's got to say. Eight of Wands energy. Nice. I opened like right to it. So nice when that happens. So, I can make this happen. That's a good mantra. I can make this happen. The Eight of Wands shifts from the intense, fiery struggles of the Seven of Wands to the magical glow of visions heading for the stars. Here, I'm going to hold it up. A sense of the mystical has replaced the antagonism, and we can now see the light emanating from a luminous destination. The Eight of Wands contains a high level of energy and thrust, which propels ideas and adventures forward. Always forward, never straight. As ideas soar high, there is still much work to be taken care of. There is no time to just sit and watch the sky because this card demands very focused attention. That's kind of what I do. 8 deals with structure, the geometries, while the wands carry the raw combustion energy. Raw energy without a structure becomes rogue energy. Well, that's true. I'm always like, I got no, yeah, it's like I missed the 1, 2, 3 part. The compartmentalization, the detail, where to begin. It's like, I just know in the sense, like a swimmer. Like, it's like, I just know how to otherwise it's like, oh, I might do too many things at once. One four. It's like, oh Lord, I don't, yeah. And then it's like, just tell me which one to do first. I need so I need some direction. It's too much. All right. Totally rogue. It's like, can't, and you can't go against the current, It's like if you get shot in another direction, it's like, I'll catch you on the next round. I'm just gonna keep going until you make it back around again. Oh, Lord. All right. So, unable to be harnessed towards a goal or a purpose. It's like a balloon that just lost its inflated air. 11515. Once you have the accurate geometry of your trajectory and the propellant to reach where you want to go, you can work with your complete concentration. Your productivity increases exponentially. So true. Once you have the accurate geometry of your trajectory, and that keeps coming up. Where is the starting point? All right. However, there is almost always a natural tendency when things start to move decisively towards a destination to relax into the ride. In this instant, you must remain focused on the important details. I feel like this is talking to me specifically. It's all collective though. I mean, but it's like I just had a conversation with a guy earlier. It's like that was the whole thing. He's like, try not to be so philosophical, and it's like that's what I am. I can't. It's like saying, don't be a redhead. It's like, and I try to dye my hair. I've shaved my head back in the day, like a freaking old school Viking head, like the skinhead look going. Yeah, my hair doesn't hold dye. It doesn't, like, it'll for a little bit and then it just kind of fades out. So it's like I've tried to, I've tried to not be me. It doesn't work out well. That's why I need help too. It's like we all need help, right? It's like the thing is I can admit where I need help. And it's like when I'm asking other people for help and I'm not receiving what I need, it's like, motherfuckers, it's like there's a lot of things that I do that I would never ask anybody to do for me that I do for other people that it's like my head, but at the same time, it's like I'm learning to breathe through different things other people have had to experience or why I get so freaked out about certain things, right? There's always reasons for stuff. And I always know it's soul growth. So it's like, right, learning to, right, not just push certain things away that we find disturbing, a disturbing frequency, right? Learning how to turn that into, right, well, how would I feel if that was me? Or what, is it their fault? No, there's certain things going on that, right? It's like, so we're trying to, right, all work together to tend to one another, to help one another get an equivalent tune up. It's not like, oh, well, that one matters more than that one over there. So it's like, no, 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 no. Everything, everyone matters. We all matter. It's all the whole, all. It's just, it's all gonna, that's why it's like Secret Santa or what. It's like everybody has a different turn to open their gift. Again, puff, puff, past, right? So remain present so when it's your time to see, right, a little more part of your divine, your divinity that's like sparkling up inside, right? That's like coming to life. Don't put yourself to sleep and keep freaking out, giving yourself one more, just one more of these, and just one more, and then just one more, and then make sure you have a paper, and then make sure, and then what? Okay. Why don't you guys just stop and like breathe? And right, it's like if you get a boo boo, sometimes you just gotta rest and let it be, let it be, let it be. And then our bodies have this amazing thing that they do. They heal themselves. It's like we just have to love ourselves enough to make ourselves come first. So, but when others already haven't put that first, they put material and other things first. That's why they're in such debt with set. Because they say time is money, money is time. Yeah, it's been, but time is fluid. It's not in a line. It's not a line. Right? Radio. Frequencies, different tunes, tones, or waves of energy. all different currents of right, and then let there be light. And oh, I have an idea. So wonderful. It's just a matter of us being more playful with all that we are and finding that, like, we're going to find it outside and then find it within. And then sometimes we find it within first and we try to avoid that because we don't like it. And then we keep seeing it in something else. And then it's like, so it's like our shadow work and our mirror work, right? Our reflection reflecting back at us in some manner. Or sometimes we're that reflection and we just have to hold space and time for another being, you know, because the trauma that they've gone through, that maybe we've also gone through on some level, so we can relate to it. So we just know to be patient, because right now they're the patient, right? So while we still are too, we have to take care of ourselves as well. However, there's certain times where, it's like, okay, they've had a lot of trauma there. So I just have to allow some time and space and keep giving them love and not give them an ultimatum, not cut them off, not in that, right? Like, but at the same time, make a boundary, create safety, and protect myself, right? So is a fine line between give and receive. And if we're not receiving back what we need, right? Learning, right? Again, wisdom is timing. So it's not like, oh, they're not giving me what I want. So no, I'm gonna. It's like, this is really not feeling awesome to me anymore. So like something got to give here, or something has to, right? Like, move, bitch, get out the way. We need some movement. We need some elbow room here. Big elephant in the room, and it's taking up too much space. You can't see that elephant, but you can feel it. Then you know it's there. Right? Oh, 551. Oh, it's 12202. So, dealing with energy and learning how to respect ourselves and not continue to be like passive aggressive, right, sociopathic, codependent narcissists, you know alcoholic, addicted gamblers that are always looking for a quick instant gratification fix. you know which again, just part of the human um construct and challenges. And it's not just human, it's like whether it's human, say the god type, whatever have you, it's part of just who we all are, and in so many different multi-dimensional, fucking awesome, amazing, messy, unconscious, trying to be conscious and like all like know-it-all, right, form. But we really don't know shit. We just know what we know in the now moment. And right, but the time that we've been in going by other people's clocks, right, we're not, that's what presently is about to stop. Because time is just a measurement we use as a tool, so it's great, but we don't want to make that the one thing that is the rule, the golden rule. The golden rule is our word has to be golden, and time is fluid. You have to allow time to be fluid and to flow. When people keep using the terms of words like, oh, there's never enough time, or I got to kill time, or, F time, and all these negative sayings are about time. Each of those sayings, don't forget, time is an entity. That's like Father Christmas, Father Time. And Jupiter and Saturn, when they're aligned, that's the right Christmas star. When they come together last year, do you remember that alignment occurred? They call it like the Christmas star. And now look, this year we have, right, the asteroid, the comet, we have the Geminid meteor showers right now. There's so many different things going on. The oh yeah, and what's in Pisces? The moon's in Pisces. From my eyes, from what I saw in my chart, my star chart thing, because I was looking at a triangle, and then there's also the triangular Was it triangular galaxy or nebula? Let's finish reading this first, and then I'll get into the star. Oh, my nose! Like, oh, jeez! Ow! Stop that. Okay, I'm gonna finish reading this, and then I'll let you know a little more about, because yeah, that had to do with the crab, the butterfly nebula, the lagoon nebula, Cetus, Mira, the triangular to the left of, is that Mercury? Mercury was to the right of Mercury is the Lagoon Nebula, which kind of is these colors. Hold me now. 555. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. Right? And like, right, taking a risk. Most take gambling risks, take a risk with their, right, say sexual, right? Like, yeah, and as shit is like lots of stuff attached to the auric fields and the etheric bodies and stuff of others, and then in their physical, again, like spiritual disease is what sexual disease is. It's right, using any energy that's sacred as unsacred. The acronym for sex is sacred energy exchange. It's like we help one another, like, right, it's like if I have grapes and you need something to eat that's healthy, and I need paper, so you have paper. It's like, cool, so you gave me paper and I gave you, right, grapes. Just making like a right simple example. So but most, it's like when we exchange what we need, that's worth everything, right? Not, oh, hey, can I, and then, right, yeah, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, and some things aren't needed to be physically exchanged. Again, right, like, I've been a bartender, I'm a mom, I'm a chef, many different things, personal trainer, and most of the time, any of those jobs that I've been paid to do, or like as a mom, right, all my daughter's friends, and just I love being mom, and I love being around animals and taking care of people, places, and things. So, you know, bartending and what have you, it's like, right, it's like one of the best like psychologist jobs in the world, right? Psychiatrist, psychologist, right? Therapist in all manners is like, right, we listen to everything, right? Sometimes it's just a smile. People just need to hear a happy voice or some giggles and some like, and feel a little lighter. Isn't that priceless? To get, right, a load off your chest, not like necessarily having to, right, seek and destroy and figure out where you're going to overpopulate like a rabbit, and like, right, find out where you're going to bust your load, not to be disgusting, but yeah, I mean, like, whatever. It's like, look all around us how fucking disgusting the world is right now. So this is an adult only show anyhow, or well, supposed to be from those that have a little bit of maturity, but I wouldn't call myself mature, but sure. But as far as not being a motherfucking, right, it's like, we go through all feelings, all right episodes, and we don't get stuck on stupid or stuck on fucking nothing. We fucking go through it and then we let it go. So it's like anything I say on here, I don't even remember. It's like I'm not. Again, I'm just a fish swimming in the water, and it's like, okay, there's this here, there's that here. It's like, don't judge me for what's floating in the water. I'm not the one that left a floater in the gene pool. It's like, we're just that. Hey, we're we're just swimming through, wondering what all the pollution is and where it comes from and who it's attached to. Yeah. But clear it up. Clean it up. Clean it up. All right. Let's see. Let's finish reading. Okay. So there's always almost a natural tendency when things start to move decisively toward a destination to relax in the ride. In this instant, you must remain focused on the important details. I think we already read this whole part, but it's okay. It is the detailing of a product, a work of art, or a piece of music, separating the wheat from the chaff, that makes all the difference. The elements of an idea can be created rapier, fast, but it is in the details, the unique composition and interplay of the elements, which separate a good idea from a really outstanding idea. So we were talking about before too, right? It's like being a master of our craft and being like, right, like being childlike and imaginarina, right? An imagination is where, right, we're co-creating with spirit and using our divine counterpart and intelligence to, right, with our physical, right, feelings and like ideas and our hands or whatever, so or whatever, right, our human self to produce something awesome or crazy or whatever it may be, right? So it's like, but if you're being you in your moment, that's all you got to do. You know, and aren't we doing our children a disservice by trying to force them all over the place and tell them how they have to learn what they should or shouldn't be doing, should or shouldn't be? Yo, there's like, there's a thing to guidance and nurturing, but when one doesn't have that within themselves, how are they directing others to have and do such things? Because what I see is very unnatural. What's natural has been lost for a very long time. You know, and like new or like right it's like that's all that's wonderful too, but again there's honor codes and respect and integrity, and like when all that's not there, it's really distasteful and it really worth shit. You know, like quality, not quantity. And like, right, supply and demand. Well, supply and demand. Well, when you want to keep being a magician and keep like producing all these fucking things, it's like it's all worth shit though. So could we slow it down a bit? And there ain't no shortage of nothing. And the fact that like being, you know, everybody, there ain't no shortage, but then everybody wants the most perfect, like the perfect grape, the perfect whatever. Is like, no roots, no fruit, right? It takes time for a tree to grow and, well, for a seed to grow. And then it takes time for that seed to take form. And then it takes time for whatever it has formed to produce fruit that is right, ripe and worth of eating. Is 603. When people when the story like right being told to not touch from a certain tree, well, that would mean if someone is some right is sleeping or put to rest. Well, if that was you, would you like to be touched? Uprooted from where you're right, and then just wake up somewhere else, like I don't know. All right, let's say very often, though the detailing can be exacting and agonizing, being willing to draw or compose something for the 10th time when the ninth was good enough. We're just talking about that so good. Or immediately adjust the bass on a track in an all-night stint to get it as good as it possibly can be, right? It's like that one, it's like, wait, that one tone is off. Oh, I hear that. We were just talking about that too, my friend and I yesterday. This is the part where the final boost to get into outer orbit. Did you feel that today, by the way? We went. Oh, goodness. This is the part where the final boost to get into outer orbit can sometimes empty the fuel tanks, and we hope we have gained just enough propulsion to reach the frictionless vacuum of space. Greatness demands a drive unseen in most people. As you work on an idea, what can you add? Just a fraction of to transform it from good to exceptional. Hard work isn't enough to achieve success. You must always be learning with the aim to continuously improve. Because once we think it's like, oh, I'm so whatever, then we're stuck, or we trick ourselves. We're tricking ourselves. But I mean, it's like to again timing. It's tricky. It's tricky. Excuse me. All right, you must always be learning with the aim to continuously improve. You must be discerning enough to know what is working, what isn't, and act on what you discover and what you deserve. Right? Don't keep, this is something I'm having to learn too. It's right, like we deserve a lot more. And although we love people, places, and things immensely, 606, there's a lot that we've put up with that there was no need for, you know. So, but nothing is all in vain. Everything has a reason, right, for a season. So, but don't allow yourself to be stuck too long. Like once you start feeling that, like it's like, okay, keep looking, then it's like, all right, it's like you kind of know you're about to make movement. So because things aren't so right, if you're not like happy, like and like yeah, like and I can't really say I am. It's I'm very comfortable. I totally love. I'm very content. Content is a different word than happy. I was like, I'm all right. I'm content. I'm okay. I'm good. But am I like, yeah, I love, like, no, I want, it's like, I want to be with my daughters and, have not have others making deals and telling me where I should it be, can I do this, and then they're gonna ABC, and then right, and then when things don't work out, because this is how it always works out with other individuals, it's like then it's like, and then it's like, oh, but then hey, nobody has any answers. It's just like, but it's like I'm not the one that agreed to. My word hasn't gotten broken. I didn't break any vows or what have you, because I didn't. I'd say I was very clear and cutthroat and direct from the very start. And it was like, are you sure? And I'm very, very kind and like, hey, I asked Nate, like, are you sure? And what have you? And like, make sure you don't. And except all these different right people that are maybe involved in certain. It's like you can't just go tweaking things and trying to after others. It's like that's not my problem. I don't quite know. Hey, from since like 2015, 2016, it's like I haven't let go because I don't care. It's like I've been guided to let go of a lot of things and just kind of, right, let what happens happen in the air. So, right, it's like holding space and staying there and just allowing whatever and remaining neutral for the most part and like just getting, right, all this different stuff. So, right, and now where we're at now, and people want to make more deals and go back. It's like, again, it's just an addicted gambler's typical. It's like you ever, if you know, like, right, 609, you know, people that do different, you know, it's like I work all different kind of walk of people. I don't judge. I don't care what label or the diction or what have you, or psychological acronym or mental said slash say illness somebody wants to label something. It's like, okay, well, it's just a vibration that we need to work with to clear out so that we can, right, tune in the frequency, man. So we may have to do a little emotional work. We may have to do some inner child work, a little shadow, just get in touch with you, right? So once we start to give ourselves permission to do these things, we start vibrating at a higher frequency and we start to feel better, and all that negativity just naturally falls right off. That's why radio, not so. You know, little mantras like, I am worth every breath I take. It's like silver and gold, right? Like you breathe in silver, you breathe out gold, you know, or whatever you need to, you know, it's like, I'm worth more than any price of any motherfucking thing that could ever be fucking sold. You know, because they couldn't keep gambling on one thing. It's like, oh, gamble for land, gamble for women. We'll just sell them too. I mean, what won't people try to sell their souls? What won't you all sell? You fucking, like, oh my gosh. Ha ha. Just one more deal. Well, we do. What about this? Hey. I mean, it's all good. I'm knocking nobody's hustle or nothing, but I just kind of did. I just kind of knocked it, but you know, I mean, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Can't take a joke. Can't take a joke. Pizza, choke, a choke, a choke, a choke. All right, it's about that time. Hour and 42 seconds in, 42 minutes in, excuse me. Okay, so you must become skilled at creating the environmental conditions to make success inevitable. And you got it. You got it. Got it. If it was reversed, which it wasn't, but we're just going to read it anyhow, because again, we don't like to leave nothing out here. Unable to launch, lack of energy, discipline and drive, unable or unwilling to listen and pay attention to feedback and be able to adjust course along the way, fragmented focus, playing safe, settling for second best. Fuck that. But I know what that feeling feels like. And lots of lack of energy. Listen, we've also had, like, I could myself say, definitely, I'm definitely my whole life aware. I've always been being like either watched or whatever and all this other stuff, which again, just as part of whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then at the same fact, motherfuckers trying to like get up in my crown chakra and tweak things and do things and like, right, make me feel lazy and stagnant and lack of energy and not move forward in my, right, etc. Like, whatever. But shame on you. And I ain't the only one you doing it too. And again, what does that say about you? It's fine. It's not fine. It is what it is. It just shows like the jealousy, envy, and greed and lack that you come from within, right? And that's not children of the light or dark. That's motherfucking kids. Meh. Which we can all be rebellious little rambunctious teenagers and like, right, stubborn and like strong-willed, you know. I'm that too. I ain't exempting myself from the Capricornus teenage stubborn. But my stubbornness comes from, I'm not going to allow myself to be walked all over or somebody else to spit their venomous poison all over my living waters and tell me that it's fucking sunshine while they're trying to take a piss down my fucking throat, hypothetically, metaphorically speaking. You know? So, and people don't like that. People don't like when we say no. 1444041. They don't like when we say no. They don't like when we protect ourselves. They don't like when we have awareness of their fucking disgusting, fucking false, fucking gross intention while they smile in our face and ask us to do something that looks simple. Or then when we start saying something, it makes us look like a fucking asshole that's not grateful about something. And it's like, that's the farthest thing. It's just when we speak about it, because it's like, think about what you go through on a daily basis. And if we're only, it's like most of the time things only get talked about once they're at a point of just about no return, right? So it's like when somebody's at the end of their rope and don't know what to do, that's when it gets spoken about, because a lot of the time we try to, right, be like Atlas, hold the world up by ourselves. So when we need help and we can't find it, or then we're being told to just, oh, like whatever, or again, the way that these, beings work is very twisty. And they've had awareness of how to use certain specific frequencies and energies for a long time. So they use it to their advantage. So again, it's like, right, there got to be a place for every kind of walk of life. So it's like, if they wanted to be good at anything, then they win. They're good at that. They're good at being manipulative, deceitful weasels, rats, dead cats, dead rats, aristocrats. Oh my. It's a Doors song, Peace Frog. So yeah. Um. Anyhow, so yeah, Eight of Wands, just to finish up, says take initiative, strive for improvement, harness the available energy coming in, and there's a lot of it. Reverse would be adjust your course, using the input from your surroundings. Unable to make orbit, blocked energy, settling for second best. And that could be, again, that's a lot of people are going to be in that energy big time too, because of the karma. And so they are going to be blocked and, like, again, under the magnet. You can't go against the magnet. So just stay in the flow, stay fluid, keep, and just stay neutral best you can and full of love, because everything's love. It's like, look, everybody, sometimes it's not like, oh, stay behind, or like, and feel, some have to stay behind because they have other lessons that they still need to learn, right? So it's like some people graduate to the next, like, grade or go into a specific school or into a specific, right, special of something, and others don't make that, or like, you're trying out for a play, not everybody makes the cut, right? So there's going to be disappointments always in life, who makes it and who doesn't, or what have you. So just, we're all going to be right where we need to be to get what we need. And if you know that, because that's the truth, just keep, like, bring me where I need to be for the highest frequency possible for me, right? Anything out of my right path or in my fields or in my right waters that is disruptive to my growth, we want that removed, and right, well, obstacles removed out of the way. It's like, why do we want to just, right, why do we want to sit in traffic? Why do we want to, it's like, we could deal with traffic and have patience in traffic, or when there's, well, when somebody doesn't care and they just want to keep throwing garbage in the water and keep pissing and shitting in the water and like right. It's like, okay, well, you stay in that water and we'll see you later. And I guess you're going to have a lot of work to do once you decide to get out of that water, because now you have to clean that water up and turn that whole place into a garden. So, like, cool. You got, like, your work cut out for you. Little Jackie Paper lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Anyhow, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Almost 2 hour show again. I don't even know if I fucking said anything. I hope you related in some manner or way. 10 of Cups at the bottom. That's what's up. Happy family. An Ace of Swords under that. Beautiful. So yeah, just keep swimming. This is all for a reason. Everything we going through, right, is, no pain, no gain. And don't hang on too much to any person, place, or thing, or label or name, right? The belief system, that's what's crashing. A lot of things crashing and coming down. Meaning just being it's like you build something with Legos, right? Speaking of the Lego 2 movie last night, you build something with Legos and then, or right now it's like Christmas time. So like I got see my pretty snowflake lights I have hanging up. My little Christmas window. Let's see, can you see it better if I turn the light off? My little light. And I always have lights in my room. And like again in the description, snowflakes, stars, um, you know, vibrations of sacred geometry that make us who we are. So yeah, be you, the best you can be, and that means just love yourself and be in tune with the collective frequency, because that's all love. And when you don't know what to do, connect with that, and that'll pull you right through. Right? It's like connect with the collective in the heart chakra, right? Like where the love is vibrating through. It's like, please connect, give me a clear path, right? Like when I'm feeling too overwhelmed and I don't know what to do, please clear my path and anything that needs to be removed out of the way so that I can breathe, right? Both ways and think a little bit more clearly, have a little more clarity. We don't have to know everything. We don't need to know the answer. We just need calm. We need to calm down, slow our roll. And we do that by using our breath, right? Refocusing, telling ourselves what to do. We program ourselves with the words that we use, the thoughts that we have, what we allow others to say, what we listen to. So I think I'll probably come back on. We'll see. I don't know. But yeah, Job and Esther, Esther, Esther. She right after this. It's like the wind blew. Oops, Song of Solomon. Ooh, and Solomon Islands. Whatever that kept coming up all weekend. Solomon Islands. What is that name? I don't know. Anyhow, I appreciate. I'm so grateful. Please like, subscribe, and hit that little belly bell so you can get notified. You know, if you like that kind of stuff when I pop on here. But you know where to find me. Just pop in the name. I'll pop up a whole bunch of videos in there. You can watch me going insane. So anyhow, I so appreciate y'all, and white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of fine linen and purple to silver rings and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. Esther 6 that I just read. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse, one from another, and royal wine in abundance according to the state of the king. And the drinking was according to the law. None did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Also Vashti. The removal of Vashti. This is what I opened to before. Yeah. Mm. So that'll be to be continued because I'm gonna have to do a little reading on this and then I come back. Yeah. Also, Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house, which belonged to King Ahasuerus. 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 On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Carcass, the 7 chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus king. That made me think of Dark Crystal, and I was thinking that earlier today too. A few things just made me think of Dark Crystal with that. You ever seen Dark Crystal? And when the Skeksis, the Chamberlain, and the slow, like the it's like the yin and the yang coming together, the elders and the that's cool. To bring Vashti, the queen, before the king with the crown royal, to show the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burned in him. I remember this story now. Took me a minute to like get back. There's so many stories that we so yeah, if you get it, yeah, like I said, I had Job. I had Job 21 is what I got kind of directed to, but whatever you get directed to, if you do or not. And just the Bible, like anything else, is a grimoire, and there's many different, it has a different meaning every time you're going to look at it, or a word or something. Again, a word means many things. So there may be a name in a sentence or a certain verse that, right, Mordecai, that keep coming out too. So Mordecai, Mordecai walked every day before the court of the woman's house to know how Esther did and what should become of her. Yeah, I gotta read this again more thoroughly. But I gotta go feed Uncle Papa Joe some dinner, and my belly too. So until next time, I bid you adieu. And again, thank you for coming in and hanging out with me. And just do your best to, vibe out and love yourself. Give yourself a spiritual bath, do your hair, do your makeup, or don't. Sometimes you don't. It's okay. You don't gotta fucking impress nobody. Want to impress somebody? Spirit and the creator are waiting to see what you got. What you got? What you got in there? A little seed to create with, like a box of crayons, right? A rainbow and a seed. What are you going to color? What are you going to grow? I'll see you next time. One love. Y'all know.